All right, guys. So I am super excited to have Dan, the marketing man, back on this channel with for you guys. How are you doing today, Dan?
I'm doing great. It's been such a long time since we did this first interview. So many things to talk about. I'm super excited to be here.
And I'm going to be trying to extract the most information out of you for all the viewers so that, hopefully, they can take away a lot from this interview with you. Um, so I think our last interview together was it about a year ago? Was it how long has it been?
It was October. No, I'm sorry. It was August.
I was gonna say you remember the exact date? August of last year of in 2020?
You started helping me in August of 2020, and we did the interview in October of 2020.
October. Oh wow. So it's been about a year, like 13 months ago,
Yeah,
right?
a year.
So our last interview, for the viewers that are new to my channel because my channel has grown since then, and for the viewers back then that didn't know about you, I think our last interview you had hit 10K, your first 10K 10K per month, essentially, correct?
Yeah, so that was my first month trying when you helped me, and I hit 10K.
Awesome, bro. And just to give the viewers, a little insight of where you're at now, where are you at now as far as like your monthly, you know, how's your business doing monthly right now, payment wise?
So every single month, we're consistently getting like 15 to 20 clients, like every single month. So right now, my biggest month was 2 months ago. I hit 38.5. I was super close to 40.
$38,500 in a single month.
Yeah, that was my biggest month.
You said 2 months ago?
2 months ago.
In the month of September.
That was
11 September.
September or October. Yeah, one of those two.
Man, that is huge. All right, so I'm not going to get all the details right now because I'll save that for a little bit later in the interview. But for all the new viewers here, can you share a little bit about yourself on, what you were doing before the agency space and then how you got into the agency space real quick for those?
Yeah, so quick background before all this agency stuff that I was doing, I got into internet marketing when I was 16, all like the Tai Lopez stuff, all when the rise of the gurus right on the internet. That's kind of when I started getting into it. So from there, I was doing a lot of sales. So I was selling door to door. I sold cars for a little while. Sales was kind of my background. And I started getting into marketing. I was like, okay, well, what's the front end of sales look like? So that's when I saw the Tai Lopez stuff. I got into that. And yeah, I found mentors locally. I started working with people for like 2 years after that. And it was like day in, day out, like 12 hours a day. I was just learning with one of my mentors here in Las Vegas. He was making like millions of dollars a year, and he was spending hundreds of thousands of it on the marketing. So I wanted to learn that side of it. And yeah, from there, I was like, I want to do this on my own. And so that's when I just started getting into SMMA. I found you on YouTube, and yeah, we started working together.
Man, and it's crazy. Dan just reached out to me. I just got one random email that someone scheduled the call with me. Didn't know what it was about. Hopped on a call, got to know Dan, and ever since then, we've been keeping in touch and just seeing each other's journey grow throughout this thing. So it's really cool to see that, and just helping each other out and things like that. So super cool. Now that's how you jumped in and got started into the agency space. So talk about going from 0 to 10K real quick, like what worked and then what didn't work. What were some obstacles and struggles during that 0 to 10K?
Yeah, so starting with advantages, I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into. I'm just going to try it. So I was always really good at speaking with people. So sales was my background. So I just started doing cold calls. I actually watched Maurice Gear on YouTube, and that's when I was like, okay, yeah, well, let's try that. So yeah, some of the struggles when I was first starting though, before I actually cracked the code, I was going to networking events in person. Like earlier that year, like I think January, February, I was going to like networking events, trying to hustle locally and trying to find clients that way until later that year, I started realizing that, email outreach and cold calling was the way to go. So some of the obstacles that I faced was just not really having the whole thing put together, right? Because now if I want to start like a new niche, for example, I have the full funnel ready. I'm like, okay, this is the front end. This is the sales process. That's fulfillment. Before I didn't even know that's what I needed. So that was kind of like where you helped me. So that was the obstacle I had. And you came and helped me and you're like, hey, you should have like a funnel. And that's when, yeah, it all started to work. So that first month that I actually tried, because before I was just kind of like here and there, that first month I was like, I'm not doing anything else except this. And I started getting clients and we hit 10K.
And then how long did it take you from starting your agency, right, from the beginning? How long did it take you to hit your 10K a month in a single month?
So I started my agency that month that you helped me. But before that, I was still working with other people, trying to like, hey, how do I get my own clients? Just trying here and there. I didn't really have it down because I didn't have the system. So that first month where I was like, I'm only going to do this, I'm going to reach out to Jordan. He's going to help me. That's when I hit 10K.
Got it. And then you said that, you were doing cold emailing, cold calling. That was like your primary way of getting clients, correct?
100%. Yeah. So I would do cold calling. And then once they were interested, I would send them an email.
Okay. And
So
then
that's how,
that email would be like a follow-up email to like a call reminder. What was that email?
yeah. So that email had like basic information about us. So then we would do a 2-call close system, which I still do. So it would be like cold call, initial outreach, wherever you're doing it, right? In this case, it's cold calling. Hey, are you interested in XYZ? Okay, good. I'd send them an email. And then the next day I would follow up via phone call. Usually they would answer, but sometimes they wouldn't. So in Go High Level, I have like a 3-day follow-up system in case they don't, see whatever was in the email. So I was doing cold calls plus cold emails forever for like a year.
Gotcha. And then can you talk about like how that funnel that you implemented from my strategy helped you?
Yeah, that was the one thing that really helped me
Yeah.
because I would be cold calling and they were like, "Yeah, who are you? What do you do?" And I would try to explain it over the phone, but it's so much easier with the way that Jordan has it because it's like, "Hey, are you interested in XYZ? Yeah, what's it about?" Perfect question. I wanted to send you over an email so I could show you what we do. That is the VCL system that you have that actually started getting people interested in what I was, cold calling them
Yeah.
about.
Awesome. Awesome. And it's always like great. Like I always think of it as like there should be like a little pre-sale before the actual sales call, right? You got to warm them up for the sales call. It helps the closing so much better because when I started, I sucked at sales. I still don't think I'm great at sales or whatever. And I think that just having that funnel in place, it honestly changed, my business, and I'm glad that it helped yours as well. Now my next question is for the new agency owners, like their question, like what, I guess this is a two-part question. But we'll start with the first question here. What is your advice to anyone who's just starting out with becoming an agency owner?
Yeah, so my advice to somebody that's starting is you should probably map it out first because I'm one of those people who just take action before and then I figure it out later. Um, the quickest way for me was once Jordan helped me implement a real strategy, a system where I'm pre-selling people. So I would just suggest you have all your ducks in a row before you actually start making calls. And I hate to say that because I advocate so much just getting on the phone and doing it. But if you can just at least prepare the first half of the funnel, right? Even if you don't have the sales down yet, if you don't have fulfillment down yet, understand what it is that you're promoting. Like fully internalize what I'm doing. Okay, I'm reaching out to people because I'm offering them lead gen. And that would like understanding the foundations will help you with everything because then it's so much easier to write copy, right? Make a script, make the offer, the video. So I would just understand really what it is first that you're doing and then make a little funnel for it.
Gotcha. Awesome. The second question is, I get this question all the time. What is the best way to get clients? And in your case, it sounds like you believe in cold emailing, cold calling. So would you say those two methods are the best way to get new clients as a new agency owner?
I mean, it all works, but for me, I think the best part the thing that worked the best when I was first starting was just honesty, and that still works today because there's bad salespeople out there that will tell you, just tell them this and this just to get the deal. And that's not the
Right,
way.
right.
When I was first starting, I was just honest with them. I was like, look, I work with people who have been doing it for about 3 years. This is exactly what we do. And even now that I have clients, we still use honesty in our pitch. So I would, in our calls now, okay, we're going to get you X amount of leads, right? But that doesn't mean X amount of leads is going to be a hit, right? So if
Right.
you're working with 40 leads and you have a 10% close rate, that means you're working with 4. So 36 of the leads are going nowhere. But what that means is we have an actual system that is profitable. So if you're honest from the start, I feel like the more personable you are, the better you are at sales. There's no like extra tactic or weird psychology trick that's going to get you to close the deal. It's honesty and tonality, right? If you're just honest and straight up, they're going to be able to tell on the phone.
Right. And I totally agree with that because like that is probably like one of the number one questions I get all the time is, hey, Jordan, what is the best way to get new clients right now today? And I tell them like there really isn't like a best way to get new clients because they all work. Right. So I totally agree with you that honesty it goes a long way. And just building a genuine relationship with people, having a genuine, normal conversation with people, right? So when I hop on these sales call with prospects, I don't even feel like I'm selling them on anything. But more focused on getting to know what they're looking to do. Like, what are they trying to get out of me? Like, how can I help them? Right. So asking the right questions, genuinely understanding what they want, and then providing that solution. And if you don't have that solution, either refer them to someone that does have the solution, or you just don't take on the client. Right. So it really comes down to be that simple. Like, there's no best way of getting new clients is just reach out to people and see if you can help them out. There's really no best way. That's all that comes down to it.
Right. And to add on to that too, I think a lot of people have that question because they're just like, where do I start? Like, what do I do to get clients right now?
Right.
It's 3 steps, guys. It's outreach, sales, and fulfillment. One of you guys watching this video are stuck in one of 3 of these places. So if you're like, I don't even know where to start, you need to start promoting. So do outreach, right? Cold calls, cold email, Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs. Just get started on getting the message out. Hey, this is what I do. Would you be interested in doing that? So if you want to get a client today, focus on the front end of the funnel. That way you get more at the bottom.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think being in the agency space, it doesn't need to be difficult at all, because what it comes down to are those exact 3 things right there: outreach, sales, and fulfillment. Nothing else. That's like the main 3 things that you need to become a successful agency owner. So hitting spot on there. Now, that's 0 to 10K. I know you passed the 10K now. Those, that's in the past. You're pro. After 10K, 10K to 20K, even, scaling for those, agency owners that are already doing 10K, trying to get to the next level, or maybe 20K, trying to get to 30, 50K. How are we getting there now? What is your advice to doing that?
So you got to start sacrificing your profits, guys. That was kind of the hardest part for me at the start, because I didn't want to give away the money that I was having, right? To actually pay for a team to help you scale. And that was the best thing I ever did. It was very easy in the beginning because I hated cold calls and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to outsource that right away. So if you have $250 a week to put into a full-time appointment setter, that's where you start. So if you're just like, man, I'm doing everything myself, I'm hitting 10, 15,000 alone. What do I do now? I want to scale. Stop doing everything. So start hiring people. So you can get, VAs on Upwork for $6 an hour. I pay my people $40 an hour plus $50 bonuses for every deal that closes. So, there's info out there for that, but start to replace yourself. I just, for the first time, and it's been like 12 months officially, I just hired my first salesperson. And that was the hardest part for me because, I always think I'm the best at it, and that's just not the truth. And you have to stop, thinking that you have to do everything yourself. You don't. Pass the torch or show someone how to do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that is one of the toughest things to do as you grow in business, is being able to trust other people, because I have that same issue, not as far as like not having a salesperson, because I've always sucked at salesperson. So I can bring on anybody and just do you, man. But I'm pretty good at, I would say, at the fulfillment part. So it's been tough for me to find someone that I could trust, handle, our service fulfillment for our clients. So I bring people in, I actually train them on exactly how I want things to be done, and then also get their inputs and stuff on it as well. So I'm still working on that today, as far as like, hiring out a team on the fulfillment side, but on the other systems, such as like, outreach and all that good stuff, I definitely don't have a problem with doing that. Now, so you're saying that, in order to scale from 10 to 20K, you got to start outsourcing. You bring up, hiring a VA to do, more cold calls. So one of the ingredients is to obviously, I guess, increase the amount of outreach, right? The more you can reach out, the more sales calls you'll get. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, the more appointments you get, the more closes you get.
Okay. And then diving deeper into that. So let's say you're cold calling, you hire a virtual assistant to do your cold calling for you. What makes that successful? Because you can hire on some people to do cold calls, and I'm sure agency owners done that in the past. They've hired, VAs to do cold calling or some type of outreach, and it didn't go as well as they wanted. So how can we make sure that it is a successful system?
So you either have to do it yourself or have done it yourself, or have somebody to train them who has done it before. So for example, if you really want a cold caller to work, it's because you know how to train them. So either you need to know how to do it or hire someone who knows how to do it. So I've had problems with that too in the past. I've hired somebody and they're bad at cold calling. We replace them right away. But luckily, I'm the best at cold calling, in my opinion, right? It's because I'm the one that runs the agency. I know I've done it so many times. So I can teach someone how to cold call. That's not a problem for me. So yeah, I mean, that's the part that makes it successful. It's you as a leader now, because it's not you running the operations, it's you being a leader. Because for the first time, like I mentioned, I'm finally like, I don't have any day-to-day roles. I'm just kind of managing people day-to-day now. So you have to know every part of the agency.
Yeah. And I think you brought up something really good there, is just getting somebody that already has the blueprint, right? So for example, I'm good at the fulfillment. I don't have any problem bringing on a team member and teaching them how to do the fulfillment. But for me, I sucked at sales. I sucked at cold calling and things like that. And I even asked you to help me out with that stuff, right? So, for those viewers that are watching this video, if you are not good at something or you want something and you don't know how to do it, either find a mentor that already knows how to do it, get the blueprint from them, or figure it out on your own, which may take a little bit longer. But essentially, focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses, right? Delegate your weaknesses and you'll get results a lot faster, right?
Yeah, because I was going to say, you at least have to know a little bit about what you're delegating to. Like my biggest weakness right now is fulfillment. Because, okay, yes, I'm Dan the marketing man, but I always say I'm not that good at running marketing ads. There's so many people that do it way better than me. You're one of those people. I met you because I needed a white label for an attorney that I had at the time. So yeah, I feel like we have like the opposite strengths and weaknesses,
Definitely. Yep. Okay, so would you say, when do we start introducing, like, let's say we're at like 20K a month and we're trying to get to 50K a month, right? When do we start to introduce paid ads? Because can you touch on that? Have you done paid ads yourself?
I just started running paid ads a month and a half ago. So as soon as I got my salesperson, I started running ads because I was going to run them for myself. And I was like, wait a second, that's going to be way too much. I'll do it, with my salesperson rather than just having him do it. So yeah, we started running ads. The best time to start running ads though is when you have a full system. So for me, it's so easy to onboard someone. It's so easy to get somebody started. I don't even have to think about it because I've outsourced that. I have white labels that help me with that. So the best time is when you can start to scale, which is when you have the system in place. So how easy is it to get clients? Like for example, if you have 5 clients, okay, you can onboard them. Would it be just as easy to onboard 50 clients? If it is, that's when you start to run ads.
Yep, totally agree. And I think, some people have asked me in the past, hey, Jordan, should I just run paid ads to get clients? And I always tell them, you can start running paid ads once you can do everything, getting clients, fulfilling the clients, retain the clients without paid ads. Once you can do all that, then it's time, once you're ready to scale, that's when the paid ads really come in. I don't recommend, for new agency owners that, just starting, they haven't really built the foundations and then start putting some serious money into ads and then getting clients, and then the onboarding isn't smooth, their fulfillment is not that great or their sales isn't that great. You're gonna be wasting a whole ton of money. So make sure the foundations are ready, built, get used to all that good stuff before running paid ads. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I want to say something too, because what I've noticed over the last year, because I've only been doing this for a year, is some niches do better with paid ads and some don't. Like what I've noticed, I started trying to reach out to dentists with cold calling. Yep. That doesn't mean cold calling doesn't work. It just means cold calling doesn't work as well in this niche. So we even work with somebody, right, who does paid ads for attorneys, and he does well. He even tried cold calling for the attorneys. It doesn't work as well. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means one is more effective. So in that case, once you can systemize one niche that does work, you have experience doing that in another niche, then run the paid ads for this niche, because then it'll work much easier.
Yep, totally agree. So can you kind of tell me, what are your struggles now as an agency owner, now that you've passed that 10K mark? You're in like you said you were onboarding 10 to 15 clients a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's crazy, right? That is awesome to hear. Now, are you getting those 10 to 15 clients through cold calling and paid ads?
Yeah. So right now, well, we do so much like organic outreach now. So we not only do cold calling, we do the cold calling system. We also do voicemail drops now. We're testing email marketing campaigns, and we do paid ads on top of outreach on Facebook and Instagram, right? Which I teach all this stuff on my channel, but those are all the outreach methods that I use now. And your question about the paid ads was, hold on, your question about your paid ads was,
Oh,
my own.
I thought you were reading something. You're looking at a different monitor there.
No, I was asking, so your question was, am I only doing paid ads now, or?
Oh, wait, are you only doing cold calling and paid ads right now to get new clients?
No, so those are all the ways that I do it.
Okay. So do you have different, outreach methods and systems going on? Have you found one to work more effectively than the other as of today?
Yeah, so one is more effective than the other depending on the niche. So I am in real estate, which means like if you're working with realtors, title companies, whatever, if they're in real estate, their cell phone is their best friend.
Definitely. Yep. They love talking to people. They make money transactions through their phone. So I would assume that cold calling works really well with realtors.
Exactly. So cold calling is really good for realtors. Who else is like that? Insurance, right? Accountants. Like it just really depends on the niche. So dentists, you can also cold call. It just takes way longer because there's, an office manager, there's a receptionist. You got to learn how to get through gatekeepers, and then maybe you can get to the dentist. So you got to test it.
So yeah, it comes back to, understanding your client, right? What type of client they're a realtor, they're on the phone. Do they have gatekeepers and things like that? Is it hard to talk to the business owner? So those are all things that, you can take into account when reaching out to people, right? So now you said that your biggest month was $38,500 in a single month this year, right? Now, what worked what worked and why did it work so well for you to have your big month in September there?
So it's crazy. Imagine like a graph of like my revenue, like consistently every single month. It's like this, like starting from January, it's like this. And then like 2 months ago, it was like in 1 month, like that was the month that I started scaling everything. So what happened, I got a client, did an amazing job. And he's like, hey, we're not that big, we're not a big company yet, but we do have like, 4 branches, 5 branches. Can you do a Zoom meeting with my entire company? And I was like, are you serious? And I literally did a Zoom, like a sales call. I did a sales call with like 34 people in it. And I posted on my Instagram, 34 prospects who are referred to me. And dude, we signed up like 5 people that day. And so usually like at the end of a sales call, I'm like, hey, are you ready to do it? Yes or no? And I'll send you the invoice. We'll do it together. But there's freaking 34 people, whatever, 30, however many people in this Zoom call. How am I going to do that? So at the end of the call, I just winged it. And I was like, guys, email me at here if you guys are interested. And then I'll just do some Q&A. And then I did some Q&A. We ended it. And then I just started going and I checked my email, just a pile of people who were interested. Some ended up closing, later that week, the next week, 2 weeks later. But we got 5 or 6 people that day to pay $2,000 or more for the service.
That is amazing, man. And that came from an existing client that was just happy with your services.
Yeah.
And that, that is so cool to hear, man, because that actually recently happened. Something recently like that happened to me, just a referral, not 34 prospects, like on a bigger scale like yours, but it goes back to, man, at the end of the day, just provide a good service and it'll take you a very, very, very long way. So super cool, man. I'm happy to hear that you had your biggest month. I've had my biggest month this year as well too. So super cool. And it actually is the number around you. So it's funny. It's really cool. So, okay. So my next question is, what are your struggles as an agency owner today, now that you're doing bigger numbers? What are the struggles today?
It's actually a fear. Fear is a really huge one for me, and I'll explain that. And managing people. So luckily, the place that I was working at before with my mentor, I managed a lot of things, one of them being people. So I have some experience in that, but now it's so much different because now it's not just a system. I'm like working with my salesperson, what are your goals? Let me tell you some of my goals. Let me tell you where, I would like to be as a company. And it's about me helping them get there. Like my goals now are not about my personal goals. It's like, how can I help my salesperson, Kevin, get, whatever the goal is? Like, for
Right.
example, it's like 1,500 a week, right? So that means we have to do 15,000 in sales because he gets 10% of everything,
Mhm.
of my entire agency. So, how can I help him get there? Facebook ads, more voicemail drops, more emails. So yeah, that's been a really big one, managing people, helping them reach their goals in the agency, and also fear. So fear has been a really big one for me because now I'm playing with bigger numbers. Before my problem was like, dude, how am I going to pay rent? We're talking about hundreds of dollars. Now we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars every single month. So it's like, I'm kind of scared to like put, $10,000 down on Facebook ads for a month.
Yep.
That's some of my biggest fears now.
Yeah, and I think as a leader, I think, like you mentioned, I think being able to put people in a position to succeed. So that becomes a part of like managing people and things like that. So that's what I'm currently doing in my agency too. As we're, getting ready to scale in 2022, we're bringing team members. I'm trying to manage these team members and seeing what their strengths, what they need help with, and so that we're all on the same page, so that everyone can succeed with it together. And as far as like your fear, putting down the $10,000 or whatever, and I don't think people understand, like there are obstacles and challenges in every step of the way of your agency journey, right? People think is the hardest part is like getting your 3 to 5 clients, like that's your only obstacle or whatever. But as you scale, you're gonna have more struggles. There's always going to be struggles, always going to be some type of obstacle that you have to overcome, no matter if you are making $2,000 a month, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, $1 million a month. There's always going to be struggles and obstacles that you have to overcome. And that's all part of, being a business owner and entrepreneurship, right? Overcoming these little things and challenges. And that's how you continue to grow. So what are your goals, Dan? Like moving forward, like from here, moving forward into 2022 and even the end of Q4 here, what are your goals moving forward?
Well, my goal right now is to hit 50,000. Like earlier in the interview, you're like, so yeah, tell us, like, how would you scale from 10 to 50,000? I was like, well, I don't know. I'm trying to get there. But my goal right now is to hit 50,000. So that's 6 deals a week, $13,000 in revenue a week. So in order to do that, I got to get 4 calls a day. So we're going to try to do that through cold calling, Facebook ads. So yeah, some of my goals, how to get there. And this year, earlier, like a couple months ago, I was like, we'll probably hit 220,000 by December. But now I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit like 250, maybe even more, which is crazy because 12 months ago when I did the interview with you, I was like, I want to hit 150,000. Let's see what happens. And I've added another 100 on there, which is amazing, and I'm super happy for that. And I think this is the last year where I'm gonna be like transparent about the money that I'm making. It's been fun. I showed everybody my journey from the bottom. Like when I was in debt, I was very honest, transparent about it. YouTube, like I was telling people, look, I'm kind of behind on like a lot of bills and stuff. So, I've been super transparent. So we're gonna hit 250, maybe even more a little bit this year, but this is the last month where I'm gonna be, posting all that kind of stuff out there. But at least I'll still be honest about like the tactics and methods and a little bit.
Right.
There's some things that you have to kind of pull back on. So
Yeah. Because I get some family and friends. They see my videos and stuff too, and they started asking. I don't like talking about it, but in the beginning, I'll share what I got, everything. People know how much we're doing monthly, yearly, whatever. And so next year, I have the same goal as you. Trying to hit that 50K. I got working on some things to make that happen. But yeah, bro, we're gonna. It's great to see that we're both leveling up each year, and we have big goals. I'm sure we're both gonna hit those numbers. So super excited in the new year because we both have the same goal. So I'm excited for that to happen for both of us. Now, my last question before I let you go, I think you provided so much insight, so much valuable information for everybody. And if you guys enjoy this video so far, drop a thumbs up. I'll bring on more interview guests and things like that. Dan was my first, and you're still. I think you might be my only interview. I don't interview a whole lot of people, man, because I don't like to schedule things, and we gotta make both people gotta make time for this. So definitely takes a lot of time to make stuff like this happen. So if you enjoy this type of content, drop a thumbs up. But my last question before I let you go, Dan, is how is this whole thing, this whole agency stuff, how has it affected your life? Is in positive way, negatively? What can you share about your experience for your life, I guess?
Man, yeah, it has been life changing. Like seriously, a lot of like perspective Like I have a whole new perspective on things that I never had before. Like, cause before I understood the concepts, you know, like I was managing ads with money in it. And I was just like, yeah, people make sales and stuff, but I never truly like internalized what that meant. And so, yeah, it's been crazy. Like before, like last year I was facing eviction notices, and now like I have people in my family who are like, yo, what are you gonna do with the money? And I'm like, they're like, where are you investing it? Are you putting in crypto or Bitcoin? I'm like, I haven't had money that long, so I don't really know what to do with it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still learning as I go. So it's been a huge, you know, an insane change in my life. I seriously never thought I'd be here in the 12 months. You know, I've been able to do so much more stuff with my family, you know, change their lives too, because they get more than I do. Like, for example, this year, Ariana Grande released her makeup line or whatever the hell. I don't know about this stuff, but my sister loves it, and I'm able to get, you know, my family gifts and stuff like that, the stuff that they want. So that's really cool too.
Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things with this whole thing for me too, is the same thing, is just be able to you know, do nice things for the people around you, right? Do nice things and have a cool experience with your family, do more family things, bring the family together more. Me and my family, we got to travel a little bit this year, and everyone's gonna have Christmas gifts this year. And for the first year, I have a Christmas tree in the living room. I bought a damn Christmas tree. Never had a Christmas tree before, and that's what at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's just bringing the family together and having doing nice things for the people that you care about and stuff like that. So really appreciate you, Dan, for coming on here. I know you got your own YouTube channel. I know you got an Instagram that you share a ton of value and all that good stuff. How do people find you?
How do people find me? You guys know where to find me. Find me on YouTube, find me on Instagram.
Google him, man. Search him up, Facebook, whatever. Dan, the marketing man. It's a one of a kind. And still to this day, when I call him Dan, the marketing man, what's going on? That's how I, but super.
No, it's been cool seeing you too, though. Like, for those of you who don't know, I actually talk to Jordan quite often. Sometimes I'll text him here and there. I've seen on his Instagram, he was, in Mexico a couple times this year with his family. And that's when I was like, damn, son, like you had your family out there, you were doing stuff with them. I haven't had the pleasure of doing that yet. But I'd love to take my family on a vacation too. So man, that's amazing. And I, congratulate you on that.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, brother. All right, man. Well, I think that is all I got for you. Like I said, if you guys enjoy this interview with me and Dan, drop a thumbs up, sub to the channel. If you want to learn more about Dan, you can find him on his YouTube channel, Instagram. You know what to do. Just search up Dan, the marketing man. Not too hard to find. All right, brother.
Thank you very much, Jordan. It was a pleasure to have, to be here, and thank you guys for watching.
All right, man. Take care, everybody. Peace.